So we're here at MacArthur Airport. It's the Civil Air Patrol's headquarters on Long Island. I'm here with David Steinberg, and we're talking about what is the Civil Air Patrol? What do you guys do?
Civil Air Patrol happens to be the official auxiliary to the United States Air Force. We have over 60,000 members nationwide, and we do missions for the United States Air Force as well as state, local, and also federal agencies.
What drew you to Civil Air Patrol? Personally, I never even heard of it.
It's a very good question. I had heard of Civil Air Patrol, but honestly, I had no idea what it was about, who they are, what they do, nothing. I didn't know any of that. But the word air was what inspired me, and I'm someone who actually enjoys aviation. So at one point, I had a conversation with a relative of mine, Jay Hill, and matter of factly, he told me he was a member of Civil Air Patrol. I was like, really? I had no idea. So I sat in on a meeting, and I met the current commander, Randy Lewis, who is our chief. He walked me through what it is that we would do here, and I was on board. I can pair up my love for aviation and also giving back to the country at the same time.
So what are the missions like? What is that about?
So some of the missions could be for search and rescue. For example, the plane goes down in the forest and the emergency beacon goes off. So that transmits a signal to the Air Force. The Air Force then gets in touch with Civil Air Patrol and they say, we have a downed plane, we don't know where it is. Can you please help us locate it and see if there are any survivors? So we'll send out a team, whether it's a ground team or even an aircrew team, and we will do some triangulation, try to pick up the signal ourselves. And then once we do locate the downed aircraft or individual, we can then lead the first responders to where that location is.
Yes, I know Civil Air Patrol has been doing work for FEMA, photographing shoreline erosion, things like that.
Correct.
Is that what you guys do?
So that is one of the other missions that we perform is aerial reconnaissance and also post-disaster photography. So for example, after a hurricane or severe storm, FEMA or any other agency may ask us to go up, take some pictures, whether it's the shoreline or any other facility, and we will take as many as they ask for, and then what ends up happening is we'll take those photographs and upload them directly to the agency that requested them, and they'll do analysis.
And so you're doing this purely as a volunteer, right? Civil Air Patrol.
Civil Air Patrol
is a completely volunteer group?
Volunteer, and we have over 60,000 members. We actually have a breakdown between cadets, who are the youngsters, as well as senior members.
This is a Cessna 182. It's an observation aircraft that they use. How many people occupy this aircraft?
So generally speaking, this airplane can hold up to 4 individuals. And in the left front seat, we have our mission pilot. In the right front seat, we have the mission observer, who generally speaking is in charge of the actual mission. Behind them, we'll have a mission scanner and or an airborne photographer.
Right. So how many aircraft like this are in the Civil Air Patrol?
Civil Air Patrol owns and operates over 500 airplanes.
And you guys are nationwide, right?
Correct. We are in every state, Puerto Rico, and there are a few locations overseas. So what we're sitting in is called a Redbird flight simulator. And it is a full motion simulator, which means that as someone is doing a flight, the actual simulator will move and it matches what is happening with the airplane in the computer. And the reason why we have these is to train our mission pilots for any kind of search and rescue mission they might have to fly, or any other type of mission that might be necessary. It is much more cost effective to do the training in the simulator rather than going into an actual aircraft, and that's why we have this. The best way to learn more about the Civil Air Patrol is to go to our national website, and that is at gocivilairpatrol.com, and all of the information about what it is that we do is on there. Aerospace education is the big one, as well as emergency services and cadet programs.
And this is Norm Cage for West Hempstead Echo at MacArthur Airport.